Make this video with some breaking news. Trump has officially received the Republican nomination to run as the Republican candidate in the 47th election coming up in November. He did that by getting enough delegates. He needed one more state, which the last state to receive or give their delegates to Trump was the state of Washington. And it's official. 2024, the two nominees are Joe Biden, also as of this evening, and Trump. If you guys don't know, Trump had a race the whole time he's been the nominee, or announced that he'd be running for re-election in 2024. He's had to ward off Ron DeSantis, in addition to the last holdout, Nikki Haley, and a couple of other good politicians within the Republican ranks. Nikki Haley was sticking around recently. I mean, she didn't have a lot of fanfare, and I didn't think she was going to get anywhere. She did have a lot of money behind her from the GOP slime establishment, and in addition to what looks like Democrats were actually funneling a little bit of money to Nikki Haley. But all for now, Donald Trump becomes the Republican nominee for 2024, and now it's up to you as far as who you vote for. I mean, you guys know how I feel as far as how things have been running of late under Biden, runaway inflation. I mean, if you got a mortgage payment during the Trump era versus the Biden era, you're looking at more than 50% in your payments every month in the Biden era. Looking at mass immigration, war breaking out in several countries since Biden's been the president, which a lot of times Trump had direct contact, in a sense, with quelling a lot of chaos breaking out around the world. Biden's kind of like let 5 instances or more of countries collapsing and going into combat, you name it, all under this administration. You also have the crime in many of the cities that's been going out of control, also exacerbated by the migration issue. Tons of issues. Most people will tell you nowadays that things have gotten drastically worse in the last 3 years. And this is not in southern Dixieland where they're telling you that. I go to Brooklyn practically every day, and in Brooklyn they'll tell you the same shit I'm telling you. I mean, they probably weren't saying it 2 years ago. They're saying it in 2024, and they were saying it in 2023. Things have gotten significantly worse for black, Latino people, so-called black, so-called Latino people. And even though he didn't receive a lot of minority support, a lot of quote-unquote minorities are coming around to the fact that things were a lot better under Trump. Let's face it. Black businesses got affected the most with the draconian lockdown that happened in the early Joe Biden era, 2021, 2022. A lot of black businesses couldn't recover after being under lockdown, and that was all the initial policies that Joe Biden put into place as soon as he got into office. For the most part, I mean, that was his version of solving the COVID quote-unquote crisis. And his solution and his administration's solution was to lock down, which hurt a lot of businesses, more specifically black businesses. I think 41% black businesses closed due to draconian lockdown conditions that were imposed by the Biden administration. So, I mean, if you're getting that from the hood, as far as people now realizing that things are significantly worse, and they do blame Biden for a lot of these conditions that we're living in 2024, then it should have an effect on the ballot box. But who knows? I mean, no election is a sure thing. A lot of honkety honks could happen as far as with the process come late fall, if you will. But again, ultimately, if you believe in voting and whatnot, then your vote does count. And if at the bare minimum, it makes things swing in one direction or another, and I think we need that this time around in 2024. But I'm glad that we got to the point where one candidate that's been under constant litigation via court, being dragged into court every couple months, it seems, and a lot of times it coincided with Trump's campaign stops that should have been happening around Super Tuesday, a couple days ago here in March. Where he had to be in court a lot of times. He had to be in court a lot of times during other pivotal state races where he could have been campaigning, but instead he was in court in what a lot of people will tell you in 2024 are dubious cases. Cases that really have no merit. Yeah, I mean, Trump is probably paying out the nose for a lot of these cases, but that's up to a judge in these cases to administer fines of that amount. But he's dealing with that stuff in addition to trying to win the presidency. To have a man of a lot of means, a billionaire in essence, have his personal fortune messed with in addition to also trying to attain the presidency. It's crazy times we're living in. Just today they had the Robert Hur testimony in Congress, which directly affected Biden. And those are things that are monumental that are being discussed today, and it seems like those kind of things are happening every other day. Trump's in a court case, mass migration, lockdown, you name it. It's just been chaotic every day. I mean, like, were things chaotic under Trump? Yeah, but I mean, in my eyes, like, the media played a large part in perpetrating that. It seemed like the every news channel had a red backdrop, red letters scrolling on the bottom of the screen from 2016 to 2020. But we're here now. The media in 2024, nobody's believing them. So I mean, to me, this race is going to be more of a straight up race, and it's good to look forward to. I'm more entertained by the whole thing. Even if Biden wins, I mean, I'm not gonna say nothing drastic like I'm gonna move countries or none of that. But this is going down in 8 months maybe. We're gonna be at the precipice of probably the illest election in history. So you let me know what you guys think. Please, if you could, like, share, subscribe. I'm going to try to make more content for you guys within this vein. And please, thanks for watching. Have a good night.